Hi, Mike DePung here, and welcome back to Spirit Hill, a place where we can gather if we are interested with healing and love and light. And I want to just bring back something that I've spoken of before. When I look at the headlines of the day, when I see the distress of the city I'm in, of the state I'm in, of the nation I'm in, and of other nations around the world, I realize it all comes back to one thing, whether we personally experience healing and love and light. And that's the decision to know who we are, who you are. And knowing self is the beginning of the journey of healing and love and light. If you do not know self, then you don't know a whole bunch of other things, because that self is what links us to the rest of creation, that which we are co-creators of. We are spirit. You are spirit. I am spirit. We are one. And that is so crucial to understand. And I want to give a little bit of examples of why. There's some nonfiction authors that have influenced me, but some of my greatest influences have been from literature, because again, I taught literature for many years. And so what I'd like to do is just share some of this with you, and hope that it helps you in your healing and love and light. I have some of the things I will share characterize the collective that we see now, and other things I hope will be suggestions or words, energies without specific words maybe, and you will see what I mean by that, that help you in your personal healing and love and light. We have to be willing to allow light inside, to examine and explore who we are based on, who this physical expression is based on the acceptance that we are spirit. That is heart energy. Ego energy is this drive to be like divinity, but it always falls short because it ends up focusing on the wrong things, the things that tend to materialism, that tend to consumerism, that tend to really an economic system that just has failed us, and it's become so apparent, even more so in the past few years. So here's my offering today. Rachel Carson, I've referred to her before, wrote a book in 1962 called Silent Spring. And she focused on the use of pesticides and herbicides that somehow people then, scientists then, and by the way, there are scientists work based on ego or heart too. Scientists who believe their own shit, that anything they do that can feed more people, for instance, they end up with ideas that they are really helping people, when many times they're not. Not if they're working from ego, not if they're working from a place of self-security, of self-justification, of not understanding that they are spirit, and that their work in science helps to incorporate what is natural, what is spirit, into all that goes on. Let me make this clearer. Rachel Carson said in her book, The Silent Spring in 1962, she says this: "The control of nature is a phrase conceived in arrogance, born of the Neanderthal age of biology and philosophy, when it was supposed that nature exists for the convenience of man." During the 150 years or so before her time, with the onset of the Industrial Revolution, the industries that were built that didn't take into account what was happening to Mother Earth, to the environment. She saw the foul, polluted air and water, the disappearance of species, the crippling of species. And she looked to the end of it, and she saw that it will end up without viable life on this earth. Now, Mother Earth will not end. Mother Earth will continue. We think we have control. That is that striving, what I mentioned before, striving for some sort of divinity, rather than just accepting that we are. We are spirit. To strive after it and to try to take control of things that we know little about, rather than just going with the flow and the rhythms and the words, the energy of Mother Earth, that's going to set us in opposition to all that we should be in a natural state of flow with. And I want to read a little bit more because there were others. There are other things that she said. She said that we oftentimes as humanity do not realize that we are sharing our earth with other creatures, that we have the awareness that we are dealing with life. Oh, kill all the bugs that are inconvenient and mean a decrease in crop production? Kill them by incorporating, and the weeds, by incorporating chemicals into the soil. And I'm going to give a link to an article I just read yesterday that somehow is justified by saying, oh, we're going to be able to feed more people. No, it's going to be able to put more profit into companies who produce those chemicals, into their bottom line. And they deceive themselves and others by thinking that, well, if we make more money, we're going to be able to do more good, we're going to be able to help more people. No, the bottom line is not any of that. That's all a smokescreen. The bottom line is money. The bottom line is that which is not in concert with the earth. And there's a great Cree proverb that says this: only when the last tree has died, the last river been poisoned, and the last fish been caught, will we realize we cannot eat money. And if you think that's far-fetched, then you need to do a lot more reading and research, because there are many very reputable, heart-energized scientists who understand what the end of all of this shit is. Now, I want to go to the literature, because there are many authors that very clearly knew who they were, that somehow, whether they would have voiced in the same words as I do or not, or that others do, they understood that they were part of the unity of all things, that they were part of this system of life that we were co-creators of. And we need to just, when we become incarnate spirit, we need to just step into it. There's just so much that is open to us. And Walt Whitman, who is one of my very favorite poets, because there are others, but Walt understood something, and he wrote a poem, and I would recommend it to you. I'll give you a link down below too of where you can read this poem, A Song of the Rolling Earth. And this is what he says, and you will hear how he understands that we are part of a unity of creation, and that we have direct access to divinity, and that when we ignore what this rolling, rotating earth, when we ignore what she has to say, what her energies are, what her powers are, then we are falling prey to that which is lower life frequencies, which is ego-energized existence. And there's not going to be healing. And we want to heal because we want to know why we came here. We came here for joy, for happiness. We came here for peace and light. We came here for innovation, for challenges, but as one with all of this wonderful creation. And here's what Walt says: a song of the rolling earth and of words according. Were you thinking that those were the words, those upright lines, those curves, angles, and dots? No, those are not the words. The substantial words are in the ground and sea. They are in the air. They are in you. Were you thinking that those were the words, those delicious sounds out of your friends' mouths? No, the real words are more delicious than they. Human bodies are words, myriads of words. In the best poems reappears the body, man's or woman's, well-shaped, natural, gay, every part able, active, receptive, without blame, are the need of shame. Air, soil, water, fire. Those are words. I myself am a word with them. My qualities interpenetrate with theirs. My name is nothing to them. Though it were told in 3,000 languages, what would air, soil, water, fire know of my name? The workmanship of souls is by those inaudible words of the earth. The masters know the earth's words and use them more than audible words. Walt wants to make the point, at least I think he wants to make the point, that we are one with all of creation. We cannot ignore it. We cannot think that the things, what we think of as clever things that come from our fingers, our minds to our fingers to put on paper, that those things are words, that they are more important, that they take superiority over what our natural unity is with Mother Earth. No, he says the masters know the earth's words and use them more than audible words. If we don't look at earth and find the patterns, if we don't look at earth and find the examples and the instruction that we need for whatever we face, for whatever challenges we face, then we're on the wrong track. We're on the wrong path. If we look at earth and say, what is it worth? What can I make? What can I make from it? How much money can I make? How much can I own? How much power can I have if I own all of this? Those are foolish ego attempts to be like God. You already are. You already are spirit incarnate. Listen to what our unity is. Listen to what our essence is. Listen to what the foundations of who we are. Listen to what we have helped to create, what we are part of. There's a lot of this poem that I can't read because it actually is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually almost 7 pages long. But I'm going to, again, link you to it. I would encourage you to read it. But I'm going to grab a few more lines here. Amelioration is one of the earth's words. It can help alleviate all these problems. The earth neither lags nor hastens. It has all attributes, growths, effects latent in itself from the jump, from the beginning. It is not half beautiful only. Defects and excrescences show just as much as perfection show. The imperfections show are what we view as imperfection. In other words, the earth, one thing we can learn if we want to heal in love and light, the earth is honest about who she is. We need to be honest about who we are if we want to heal. The earth does not withhold. It is generous enough. The truths of the earth continually wait. They are not so concealed either. They are calm, subtle, untransmissible by print. They are imbued through all things, conveying themselves willingly. Conveying a sentiment and an invitation, I utter and utter. I speak not, yet if you hear me not, of what avail am I to you? So we take these things and we share them. Mother Earth shares with us. We realize our unity. We begin healing in love and light. We realize who we are and we share and we heal. Now, there are just a few more things I want to grab here that are very beautiful. I swear the earth shall surely be complete to him or her who shall be complete. The earth remains jagged and broken, though, only to him or her who remains jagged and broken. How we view the earth reveals how we view ourselves. If we're jagged and broken, we will look at earth as jagged and broken. And we will treat earth as jagged and broken. We will disrespect earth. We will create imbalance with earth. Anything that does that is ego energy. I'm not saying even it's wrong. What I'm saying is there will not be healing in love and light if we choose ego energy. If we choose to look on earth as something to be exploited, if we choose to look on earth as something to increase wealth, power, and control, as something to define ourselves by. No, that's all ego energy. We are divinity. We are spirit incarnate, and we are one with our creation. And so we would treat creation the same way we would treat self, with respect and balance and wholeness, and to recognize the beauty of honesty and sincerity, of letting all of self show, even those bad times, those ugly times. I swear the earth shall surely be complete to him or her who shall be complete. The earth remains jagged and broken only to him or her who remains jagged and broken. I swear there is no greatness or power that does not emulate those of the earth. And here's a really few important lines to me. Any science, any philosophy, any religion, any economic model that fails in these lines are driven by ego. And there's going to be lower life frequencies that are the consequences. Things like I see in those headlines that I read every day, and the stress that I see all about us. Healing and love and light begins with recognizing who we are, and that means we recognize our creation, and that means we're one with it. I swear there is no greatness or power that does not emulate those of the earth. There can be no theory of any account unless it corroborate the theory of the earth. No politics, song, religion, behavior, or whatnot is of account unless it compare with the amplitude of the earth, unless it face the exactness, vitality, impartiality, rectitude of the earth. Straight, sincere, authentic. There can be no theory of any account unless it corroborate the theory of the earth, Mother Earth. Like I said, it's just restraint in me to not read all of this poem, but I shall not. I think I've made the point that I wanted to make today. We're one with this creation because we are co-creators. We're one with it because we are spirit. We want to begin with healing and love and light. Examine yourselves. If you want this is a personal message now. Think about how you feel about Mother Earth. Would you be willing, if it meant that we would stop using so much plastic as much as possible, that we would have to go to the store every single day because things couldn't be hermetically sealed? Would you be willing to do that? We know that plastics are choking and killing the ocean, the marine life, that it's creating unusable, unlivable land. And again, Mother Earth is going to have the last laugh. But for now, this is what we need to realize and see if we personally would be willing to give it up. I'm not saying that we do. I'm saying that as the shift occurs, and shift in the collective will not occur until shift here begins. And so, are you willing? Tell Mother Earth that. Go out and listen to her. Go out like I did last week. I found I could hear this throbbing energy calling to me. And it was a big rock that I just kind of ignored. One that 3 or 4 people could sit around back to back around the edge of it. That was just left here when this subdivision where I live was built. And I felt this energy. And I went out there and I sat and I thought and I felt. And it was a time when I needed encouragement, that there was a steady, continuing rhythm. It didn't have to be a frenetic reaction to what was going on, to things that I were seeing that were bothering me in the collective and in myself. But that there was this steady, throbbing, deep, patient rhythm of Mother Earth coming through that stone. These kinds of things, some people will say, well, that sounds crazy. You won't go out, sit with her, sit with part of that which you're one with, which you are in unity with, and you will be amazed at the things you will discover about yourself. And then think, how do I relate to Mother Earth? Am I jagged and do I feel jagged and broken? Do I look at Mother Earth as jagged and broken? If so, realize you can hear her. You can look at yourself, deep in yourself, whether you can look in a mirror or just look within in your thoughts and mind, looking behind through ego to your heart, to that throbbing voice that is one with all of the higher life energies. And get yourself straight and start that healing and love and light, and enjoy this life. Enjoy what you came here to know and to see, to explore, to discover. It's all there waiting for us. And when it comes down to evaluating what's going on in the collective, we need to listen to those who understand it more. We need to listen to the Greta Thunbergs who care so deeply, to the indigenous peoples who have lived this, and I don't say every individual, but who as a philosophy of their people understand what Mother Earth means to humanity. Listen to them, hear them. The religions, the economic systems, whether it's capitalism or anything else that exploits, that again creates disrespect or imbalance with Mother Earth. Are you ready personally to relinquish those and to live in wholeness for yourself? So that's it for today. There shall be more. Thank you for being here on Spirit Hill.